How are you?
Good. Is that your full-time job? You're a dog behaviorist?
That is my full-time job.
And people come to you because their dogs are misbehaving?
That's correct.
And Brenda, do you have a lot of dogs that you bring to Robert?
Well, he actually came to my house when I had a problem. My big male dog ran into my leg and fractured my tibial plate. And so Robert contacted me and said, through our church, and he said, I would like to come over and help you to, show you some techniques to, help him to respect your space better. And he came over, and as soon as he walked in the area, the dogs just responded to him like, I was like really amazed.
That's crazy.
How well they responded to him and respected him and all that.
Really? Is that like a God-given thing?
I'm not sure. I mean, I'm very calm, but I'm very assertive. And so when I come in with a peaceful nature, the dogs feel that. So, if you come near a dog and you're fearful, the dog knows you're scared, right? So the dog's going to want to come after you and bite you, most likely.
Does it work every time?
Every single time without fail. So I come into her pack of dogs. She has, how many dogs do you have?
Several. I have 7.
She has 7. So I come into a pack of 7 dogs, and I'm very calm, and all the dogs just naturally relax. They feel this guy, he's no threat, but he's standing his ground. He's just here to help.
Really?
So that's what I think in my mind.
Oh, my goodness.
I'm here to...
This is a great topic. I want to learn everything you have to share with us.
Absolutely.
So, Brenda, how come you have 7 dogs?
Because I breed English cream golden retrievers.
Oh, is that a pretty dog? I'm trying to think what it looks like.
It's a beautiful dog.
English cream? That means the color?
English cream.
Really?
Yes. Some people call them white golden retrievers.
Okay.
They're very light. Many people contact me and say, I've never even seen one before.
Really?
But you're seeing them more and more now. You're seeing them in ads a lot more and things like that.
So when you say you breed them, are the 7 the breeders and the puppies of those 7 become like a business for you or what?
Well, I've got 2 males. One of them is retired, though, and I've got...
Retired from...
You guys are going to retire soon.
Retired. His whole job is to...
Well, he's getting up there in age.
Well, does that matter?
It's very exerting, yes.
It's exerting? But does he want to?
Yes, he does.
He does. And you don't let him?
No.
Oh. Robert, you got to talk to the dog. Let him know.
It's not about him, believe me. You got to convince him.
What would happen to the puppies? They wouldn't be healthy if he made it?
It's just that he's just really getting up there in age, and it's very very exerting, and so I don't want him to overheat himself or.
I hate to ask this question, but how old is he?
He is 10.
Times 7, that's 70.
70.
Okay.
You got 9 years to go before you're retired.
How old is Jim?
Go for it.
71.
Oh, there you go. He's done.
Oh, no wonder he's at the doctor today. Okay, all right. That's too funny. All right. So you have 7 dogs. Okay, so getting back to the 7, those are always yours, those 7.
Yes.
And the puppies that come from the still working male, are the other 5 all female?
Yes, yes, the 5 are females. One of them is a spayed female. She was born with only 3 legs. She's missing one of her front legs.
Okay.
But she was up on her feet and getting around before her sister that had 4 legs.
Oh, really? Oh,
yes.
really?
She's very strong-willed, and she doesn't realize that she's only got 3 legs.
I'm going to make a presumption that whatever the behavioral problem was that you got with Robert had nothing to do with being mean, right? Are they just too playful?
Oh, yes. No.
Is that what it is?
He was following one of my girls around. They were running around the yard, and I was behind our barn, and she came running around the corner.
When you say you girls, you mean the dogs?
The dog,
okay,
yeah.
Okay.
She came running around the corner, and he was following
trying to picture
her.
what your household is like.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so when she ran around the corner and saw me, she veered, but he didn't see me in time. And so
well, he's got his mind on other
tried,
things.
Yes.
Yeah.
So he tried to, but he kind of slammed me from the side, as he was trying to turn away.
How did you meet Robert?
through my church, through our church. He contacted me because I'd put a prayer request in, and he contacted me and said, what he does, and he said, I would like to help you.
That's
He
a
said,
great business strategy.
No, I won't charge. Excuse me, I won't charge you, but I will. I just really feel like, God wants me to help you, and so I'm like, well, could definitely use the help. My dogs get very, very excitable around me. Whenever I'm out there with them, they're just real excited, and they're all trying to compete for attention and all that.
They love you.
They do.
You're such a good owner.
They do.
You're your friends.
Robert,
Yes.
is the problem usually the owner?
Almost always. I would say 99.9% of the time.
Really?
Yes.
So, does it matter how old the dog is? See, I had
Not at all.
I had a dog, and she's no longer here. She got a huge tumor on her elbow, I guess you would call it, and it wouldn't heal, and then I had to put her down. It just was not going anywhere. In fact, the doctor said if he did surgery, the anesthesia, as they call it, would have killed her. So, but anyway, and she was 14 years old.
Yes.
And she had been around a while. But here's what I want to ask you: the last 2 years of her life, she wasn't housebroken anymore for some reason. Every day I'd come home, and I wouldn't yell at her because I was like, "Oh, she's so old. I'm not going to yell at her. What am I going to do?"
Well, dogs. I mean, people generally will humanize dogs and see them as a human.
Yeah.
And when it comes to an elderly dog, that is quite okay. That's completely normal. You should do that, because as an elderly dog, I mean, incontinence is normal. As a person gets older, it's very difficult for them to get up and go to the bathroom, things like that. So when your dog is
What
elderly,
age does that
I mean,
happen? Like 70? Same.
generally,
Same time you get retired.
So yeah, I mean, incontinence it happens with dogs as well as humans. I mean, dogs of course have a completely different psychology and mentality as a human, but physically they still have the same symptoms.
But whether we're talking about an older dog or any dog, if the dog is not housebroken, can you talk to the dog and stop that?
Well, I don't talk to the dog, but yes, I mean,
You don't talk to the
I
dog?
mean, dogs naturally don't go in their own environment. That's not their thing. That's not what they want to do.
Really?
But if they smell that, if they've gone there and you hadn't cleaned it properly, things like if they're frustrated, if you don't give them the proper exercise and discipline that they need, that is something they can totally get used to doing. They can just become normal to them, and that's not normal.
Wow. And so people call you, and that's your job. You show up at their house, like the British lady my mom used to watch. My mom used to watch this TV show. Some British lady would fix the dogs. I'm not fix them, but stop their misbehavior problems.
She would give them
What I do
manners.
is I create balance. When a dog is mentally balanced, your dog is just naturally calm and submissive.
So you work with the owners, not with the dogs.
I work with the dogs and with the owners. I show the owners and explain to them why their dog is doing what they're doing. So I explain the behavior. This is why your dog is doing what it's doing, and this is how to correct it.
All right, take us on a road trip with you with words. Give us a client you were working with and what.
Well, for instance, I'll use Brenda. She's sitting right here next to me.
Okay.
So Brenda has a dog, and I worked with this dog who was not respecting her boundaries. But this dog is also very high energy. He's a very high energy dog that is not able to be exercised as often as he needs to be. So I suggested, well, why not try a treadmill? And if the treadmill isn't quite right for the dog, then you could try a riding lawnmower. Anything to give that dog the exercise he needs in order to calm down mentally. So when you exercise the physical body, the mental mind it unlocks and it slows down.
How do you use a riding lawn? How does a dog use a riding lawnmower?
Well, the dog doesn't use the riding. You use the riding lawnmower.
Oh, okay.
But you see, you could use a wheelchair or
Leash
anything.
him up.
If you're not able to physically walk the dog for as long as the dog needs to be walked, you can use anything. So all you have to do is condition the dog to be acceptable.
And the
to
dog
it.
would use the treadmill?
This dog personally was very fearful of the treadmill, so we actually ended up using her riding lawnmower.
Okay.
And at first she was like, "Oh, he's going to be terrified of it," which he was at first, but within maybe 5-10 minutes?
It wasn't long at all.
5 or 10 minutes, he was trying to pull me riding lawnmower. He wanted to go faster than the lawnmower could go. He's like, "Let's go, let's do this." So he really.
Now, did the lawn need to be cut? I'm thinking
going around the block a
To
few
full
times,
purpose.
different directions. Yeah.
Okay.
Is there a difference on how you train dogs, if they're just strictly outside dogs and or strictly inside dogs?
Not
Because
at all.
outside dogs are different.
It's not so much dog training as it is dog psychology. The psychology of the dog is just to basically understand what the dog is thinking and why it's thinking that way and why it's behaving the way that it is. And then so once you understand that, you can help it to create balance. And once you have balance, you have the perfect dog. So it's simple as that. So it doesn't matter if the dog stays outside or if the dog's an indoor and he's your best friend in the world and he's your little baby. As long as you understand what it is that the dog needs and you provide that and you fulfill that animalistic nature inside him, then everything is perfect.
Okay, but if every dog was the same, then all you would have to do, is just write a book and we'd all be set. But every dog isn't the same. That's why we need somebody like you, right? Because it's the one. There's not one fits all.
That's right. It's not one fix fits all. I never go into a case knowing completely what the problem is, ever, and that's better because
This
then
is fascinating.
I can use my intuition. I can use.
You were gifted with a job. I mean, when you were a little kid, you had a job already. Were you doing this as a kid?
I grew up on a farm, and I learned very quickly that you can't go against nature. You can't go against Mother Nature at all. If you try to take a cow and make it tap dance, it's not. You might be able to train it to do that, like in a circus.
You can do it with a chicken.
Sure.
Yeah.
I've seen chickens tap dance. Have you ever seen that trick?
Yeah.
But is the chicken going to be happy? Is it
No,
gonna
I
be
don't think so.
fulfilled? No.
I think they were putting electricity in that thing. Yeah.
Right. So a dog just wants to be a dog. He doesn't want to be anything else. He just wants to be a dog. So you can make him your baby, your child, your best friend in the world, but at the end of the day, he just wants to be a dog. And that's what I help you to understand and help you to fulfill that in your dog. So once you fulfill that animalistic nature in him, then he can be your best friend and your baby, and everything is fine. There's no more biting or aggression, or maybe there's all kinds. I mean, there's dogs with all kinds of different problems.
You
Some
make it
just
seem
taste
so
or
easy.
chill.
You make it seem so easy.
Well, for me, maybe it is because I understand animals, from growing up on a farm and things
Yeah.
But for other people, it's very difficult because they only see their dog as a little human. So it's very difficult for them.
Yeah, we do that. We have a phone call, and then we'll have to take a break. Good morning. You're on the air. Thank you for calling. You're on the air with Brenda and Robert.
Yes, good morning, folks. A while back, we took in a stray dog, and the dog was a terrible walker, and somebody suggested a gentle leader, which we tried, and I'm telling you, it's an amazing little piece of equipment with that little strap over the nose. What psychologically, what is the reason why that dog is such a perfect walker with that gentle leader on?
Well, I can explain that. The thing is, with a gentle leader, it's much like leading a horse. If you've ever been on a farm and dealt with horses, the nose is the most sensitive thing in the world to a horse and also a dog. So when you put something over that snout, it's very easy to control them. It's when you move that neck, when they try to move forward and pull you, when that neck is pulled sideways, they automatically just want to slow down. But for instance, if you use a halter or some sort of just a basic leash around the neck, even, it creates this want to pull to go forward, sort of like a dog that would want to pull, like you ever seen those dogs that up in Alaska, you'll see a pack of like 10, 12 dogs that are pulling a sled. That's natural for them to want to pull forward, but the harness is never around the neck. It's just a harness that goes over the body. And that harness actually creates them to want to pull and go forward. But the gentle leader goes around the nose, and it connects with them in a different way, mentally. Not so much physically as it is mentally. So when it's around that nose, they're much more sensitive, and it's more gentle to them.
Wow.
So the gentle leader is an amazing leash. It's not perfect for every dog in every situation, but for elderly people and people that have a dog that is very strong, that is the best thing to use for them. But I don't recommend it in every situation.
All right, let's take a little break, and we'll continue on the other side of the break. Brenda George is in here. She's a dog breeder. That's what Robin put on the note here. And Robert Hedrick is a dog behaviorist. This is fascinating stuff. I do want to ask you about those invisible fences, though. I don't know who wants to talk about it, but are they safe? Like, does it make a dog go nutty? Because it's a shock, right? It's a shock in the neck. All right, we'll take a little break and be right back. If you have any questions, by the way, feel free to call 622-9622.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. Sunny to partly cloudy today with an afternoon and early evening thunderstorm. High of 89 to 94. Partly cloudy later tonight, a low of 71 to 76. Tomorrow there'll be some sunshine, another afternoon thunderstorm, a high of 90 to 93. Partly sunny, an afternoon thunderstorm again for Sunday with a high of 89 to 92. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Maggie Johnson.
Hey, I'm Gary. And I'm Eric. Did you know that Red Eye Radio is on WOCA The Source every night from 2 to 6 a.m. and it's live? That's right. No tape shows here. We know that the news doesn't sleep. And neither do we. So we're here with you live from 2 till 6 a.m. every weekday. Call us 866-90-RED-EYE. So join me, Gary McNamara. And me, Eric Harley, every weeknight to discuss the latest in news and entertainment. Right here on WOCA The Source.
Good credits, bad credits. It's none of our business because we're not an auto dealer. We're not a bank. We're not your mother. We're OcalaForSale.com. Marion County's marketplace for cars, trucks, and SUVs. We've got thousands of sellers standing by to take your call. No middleman. But hurry, don't walk, don't run. Just sit down and log on to OcalaForSale.com. Prices and inventory change daily. Offer does not include dealer upcharge. Undercutting, rust-proofing, factory surcharge, or delivery fee. See website for details.
Hi, I'm Leah Caruso with Strive Rehabilitation, inviting you to join me Thursday at 11 a.m. for Health Matters. Ocala Health and Strive have teamed up to bring you the latest information on good health services available to you right here at home. This vital information will help you make informed decisions about your health. So don't forget to join me here at 11 a.m. Thursday. It's news you can use from Ocala Health, Strive, and your friends here at WOCA.
How much is that dog in the window? The one with the waggly tail. How much is that dog in the window? I do hope that dog is for sale.
I watched this video. Jim George asked me to have this song ready for you, Brenda, and I said, forget the dog. Who's that lady singing?
You love her.
She was nice looking, yeah. All right, I've been saying Robert's last name incorrectly, so Robert Hedrick is in the studio. He's with he's a dog behaviorist. He's with Canine Connections, and look at the card you have. It's all the butts of dogs. Okay. Simple dog psychology to eliminate behavior problems. And you wanted me to give out your website?
Yes.
Is it Canine Connections Ocala? Oh, that's an email. Canine Connections Ocala at gmail.com. Is there a website?
No, there's not a website currently.
Or just so write your email?
Yes.
Do you want to give out your phone number?
Sure.
It's 352-233-1932. Yeah, just remember the year that song was made, 1932. I'm teasing. I don't know. And we'll repeat that. And Brenda, you're with Hearts of Gold. That's your. You got a car too. Oh, you got the face. You got a cute dog on you.
That's one of my puppies.
Hearts of Gold. Oh, really? That's what they look like?
Uh-huh.
Oh, they're beautiful.
Top quality American and English cream golden retriever puppies. How much does one of these dogs sell for?
I designed those a long time ago, so I don't breed the American Golden anymore.
Oh, you don't?
That's what I started out with, and then I got the English cream few years later.
Where are the English creams imported from? Where do they come from?
They come from all over, mostly in Europe is where they're at. My dogs are from several different countries. One of my males is from Slovakia, one is from Australia, and my original girls, all the ones I'm breeding now are offspring that I had bred, but my original females came from the Netherlands.
Really?
Yes.
Wow, so nothing. You didn't say England once.
No, but they come from just all over. I mean, they come from Russia and all those different countries.
Really? Robin's daughter has a dog. What is it again, Robin?
A border collie.
A border collie. Oh, it's a beautiful
Cosmo's
dog.
13.
But it didn't pass the test. What do you call it? It had too much white on the head?
Right, it had too much white on it, so he couldn't be a show dog. So he was discriminated against.
So is that how it works with pricing? Like when you have a litter, do you say, oh, this is a perfect one, it's worth more? Or does that not happen?
Most people that come to me are looking for, because it's an English cream that I breed, they want the lightest possible. Some you literally look white. I do tell people, however, they are a cream. If you look real closely, they're cream, just like the difference between a stark white and an
It's
off-white.
like me. I'm more creamy than I am
They're-
white.
Yeah. So yeah, that's.
You have some goodies that you brought in today, too,
Yes, I did.
for the doggies. We like to hear about those.
Okay. I go down to the expo in Orlando. They hold that once a year, and I purchased out the last time I was there, I purchased the Zooks booth. And Zooks is a very good quality treat. It uses real meat, and the
Really?
products that have meat in them is usually the number one product in there, the first ingredient. They're made in the USA.
Can you hold it up to the camera? Just hold it up. The camera's right here. Just
The protein sources are
there you go. Yeah.
are from the United States, except for I know the rabbit is made with New Zealand rabbit.
Really?
Wow.
Our rabbits aren't good enough, huh?
But they're all made in the U.S.
I think the New Zealand rabbits are tastier.
So let me ask you a question about nature. Okay. Are there any like wild packs out there, like maybe in Africa, of poodles? I always wonder.
I don't.
No. So are all dogs domesticated? Is the whole planet domesticated? Except for what's that one that comes out of Australia? That one that jumps really high?
dingoes.
The dingo, yeah. Is that the only wild dog out there anymore?
I would say the dingo and the wolf.
And the wolf.
Yes.
So there's no wild chihuahuas down in Mexico.
Well, there might
No,
be.
there really are. Actually, in Mexico, it's quite different than in the United States. There are a lot of dogs in Mexico that really don't have a home or a family to tend for them, so they hunt in packs. They naturally come into packs together.
So they went back to their nature as opposed to when they're.
Well, it's in their DNA, so they have to.
You would think so. All right, so that leads to this question because you said rabbit meat was in there. I've often thought, okay, if I give my dog beef, there's no way my dog would have killed a cow. In nature.
Not if it's a Chihuahua, it wouldn't have.
Even the dog I had. I don't think even the dog I had. But she could have killed a rabbit or a squirrel.
Sure.
Okay, so are we feeding the dogs? Like, should we be feeding rabbit and squirrel as opposed to cows? Because when would a dog ever kill a cow in nature?
I think the question would be: should we be feeding rabbit and squirrel versus different gluten and fillers and byproducts and things like that?
Yeah.
Well, a lot of times with dogs that I work with, their diet is so messed up. It's so crazy. People will feed them just about anything. And then, when they have a bad food that's going into their body, that can really mess them up mentality. I mean, their mental game could be completely off.
So
because they're not getting what they need as an animal.
Do you know we had a dog psychic on the phone one time?
Really?
Oh, yes.
Oh, that's something else.
I wish I had more time to tell you about it. But she told me, she said, your dog is missing you right now. I said, hello, I know. I'm not home.
That's a given.
Just to touch on the dog treats again, can people buy them from you?
Yes, they can.
You have soft ones and hard ones.
There's all different varieties, from the little tiny training treats to links to Z-fillets and power bones and I've got the Z-bones, which are the edible bones that
Brenda,
clean their teeth.
We're out of time, but thank you so
Nice.
much. I wish we had more time. This was a fun conversation. Canine Connections, call Robert Hedrick at 352-233-1932. And Brenda George, Hearts of Gold, call Brenda at, what's your number, Brenda?
352-342-5012.
Okay. Thank you both. This is WOCA Ocala.
Fox News Alert, I'm Lillian Wu. The number of jobs created in May well below expectations. Just 38,000 new jobs created last month. The unemployment rate fell to 4.6%.